Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some incredibly important news that affects many retirees and people planning for retirement. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, has officially confirmed some major pension changes that are coming into effect on February 28, and I know a lot of people are anxious to know what that means for them. So, in this video, I'm going to break down all the important updates and changes coming to pensions, including state pension increases, pension age shifts, eligibility changes for pension credit, and more. If you're retired or planning to retire soon, this video is definitely for you, so keep watching to get all the details you need to know. Let's dive into it. First off, let's talk about the state pension increase. Now, this is probably the biggest change everyone's been talking about. Starting on February 28, retirees will see a significant rise in their state pension payments, which will certainly be a relief to many who have been struggling with the rising cost of living. As confirmed by the DWP, the state pension is going to increase in line with inflation, and that's good news for anyone relying on that fixed income. Specifically, the increase is set at 10.1%, which is in line with the latest inflation figures. If you're currently receiving the full state pension, which is £203.85 per week, you can expect that to rise to £224.50 per week starting on February 28. For many retirees, that's an additional £20 per week, which might not sound like much, but it adds up to more than £1,000 extra annually. That's definitely a positive step, and it's going to help ease the financial pressures for a lot of people who are living on a fixed income. However, let's be honest here, £20 a week might not be enough for some people, especially with inflation running high and everyday expenses climbing across the board. So, while this increase is definitely a good thing, there are still concerns about whether it's going to be enough to keep up with the overall rising cost of living. Despite that, it's definitely a step in the right direction, and for retirees who may not have other sources of income, this increase will be a welcome financial boost. Next, let's talk about the pension age. This is another major change that's coming on February 28, and it's something that will affect a lot of people who were planning to retire soon. If you were expecting to retire at 66, there's a key adjustment you need to be aware of. Starting on February 28, the state pension age will officially rise to 67 for both men and women. So, if you were born after April 1960, you'll need to wait until you turn 67 before you can begin drawing your state pension. The DWP has made this change as part of an ongoing plan to ensure the sustainability of the state pension system, given that life expectancy is increasing and people are living longer than they used to. This change has been on the horizon for some time now, and it's part of a broader effort to balance the financial demands of the pension system with the realities of modern life expectancy. For those who are already approaching retirement age and have been expecting to retire at 66, this change could be a bit of a shock. While it's only a one-year difference, that could have a big impact on your retirement plans, especially if you've already made financial arrangements based on retiring at the age of 66. I'd recommend that if you're unsure about how this affects you, you check the government's website or use their online pension age calculator, which will tell you exactly when you're eligible for your state pension. Now, let's move on to something that can make a huge difference for many people: pension credit eligibility. If you're someone who receives pension credit or you're thinking about applying for it, then there's another important change that could affect you. As part of the pension updates, the eligibility criteria for pension credit will be updated on February 28, making it easier for some people to qualify. Pension credit is a means-tested benefit aimed at helping those over the state pension age who have low income. The idea is to help retirees who may not have enough income to meet basic living costs, ensuring they can live with dignity in retirement. Starting February 28, the government is raising the income and savings thresholds for pension credit eligibility, meaning more retirees will be able to qualify for this vital support. In other words, if you have a modest income or a bit of savings, you might now be able to receive pension credit, even if you didn't qualify before. This is really good news for people who've been struggling financially in retirement, as pension credit can provide an important financial boost. For example, if you're a single person, you might now qualify for pension credit even if your income is slightly higher than the previous eligibility limit. Similarly, the savings limit has also been raised, meaning that if you have a little bit of money saved up, it might no longer disqualify you from getting the credit. What's really helpful about this change is that pension credit is a benefit that can lift many retirees out of poverty, making sure they don't have to choose between heating their homes or buying food. The increase in eligibility is a positive step, but I do want to remind everyone that pension credit is not automatic. You still have to apply, and you may want to seek advice or assistance to make sure you're getting all the support you're entitled to. You can check the government's website for more details on how to apply and whether you qualify. Let's move on to something that might be particularly useful for those who are planning for their retirement or are already retired. The DWP is launching a new pension forecasting tool, which will be available starting on February 28. This tool is a game changer for many people because it allows you to get a clearer picture of your future pension entitlements. In the past, it was often difficult to get an accurate forecast of your state pension, and many people were left unsure of what to expect when they finally reached retirement age. Well, now the DWP is rolling out a new system that will let you see exactly how much you're on track to receive based on your national insurance contributions and other factors. This new forecasting tool is incredibly important because it will help you plan more effectively for your future. If you're close to retirement, it's essential to know how much you're going to get from the state pension so you can make informed decisions about your retirement savings and whether you need to adjust your financial strategy. It will show you an estimate of how much you'll be receiving, along with a breakdown of your contributions and how they affect your pension entitlement. The tool is easy to use and can be accessed online, so you don't need to wait for a letter from the government. You can just log in, and within minutes, you'll know exactly where you stand with your pension. Finally, let's talk about the additional state pension. If you've been paying into the additional state pension over the years, there are some important changes coming to how much you'll receive. The additional state pension, also known as SERPS, State Earnings Related Pension Scheme, is a system that allows people to receive extra money on top of their basic state pension, based on how much they earned and paid into the system during their working life. As part of the upcoming pension changes, the government is making adjustments to how the additional state pension is calculated, which could affect the amount you receive. Specifically, the adjustments are being made to ensure that the additional pension keeps pace with inflation, so retirees who are receiving this additional payment won't see its value decline over time. While these changes are mostly positive, there are still some people who may see their payments recalculated as part of the new system. If you've been paying into SERPS or the additional state pension over the years, it's a good idea to check your pension forecast to see if these changes will affect your overall pension income. It's also important to remember that not everyone will be eligible for the additional state pension, especially if you were part of the new state pension system introduced in 2016. Still, for those who have been relying on this additional income, these adjustments should help ensure that they're receiving a fair and reasonable payment based on their contributions. So, what does all this mean for you? Well, these changes, set to take effect on February 28, are designed to provide better financial security for retirees, particularly those who may be struggling with low incomes or rising living costs. Whether it's the increase in the state pension payments, the expanded eligibility for pension credit, or the new forecasting tool, these changes are a step toward ensuring that people who've worked hard all their lives can retire with a little more peace of mind. But of course, it's important to stay informed and make sure you understand how these changes affect you personally. If you're unsure, I highly recommend checking the government's pension tools or speaking to a pension advisor. The more you know about your retirement finances, the better prepared you'll be to navigate these changes. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and leave any questions you might have in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an important update like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay financially savvy.